One whistle, on goal, one silence that echoed across an entire football nation. For nearly 2 decades, one man carried Portugal's biggest dreams. He conquered Europe, shattered records, and inspired millions. But on one heartbreaking night against Spain, the greatest chapter of his international career came to an end. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just lose a football match, he may have played his final World Cup game. Every football fan knew this tournament felt different. Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at the 2026 World Cup knowing it was almost certainly his final chance to lift the one trophy that had always escaped him. At 41 years old, he wasn't the unstoppable winger who terrorized defenders in 2006. He wasn't even the clinical striker who dominated Europe for over a decade. But he was still Cristiano Ronaldo, the captain, the leader, the symbol of an entire generation of Portuguese football. Every time he stepped onto the pitch wearing that famous number 7 shirt, millions believed one more miracle was possible. Portugal believed, his teammates believed, and maybe, deep down, even Ronaldo believed this story still had one final perfect ending. Standing in his way was the team that knew Portugal better than almost anyone: Spain. 2 neighboring nations, one of football's fiercest rivalries. There are no easy matches when these two meet. Every pass is contested, every tackle matters, every mistake can change history. This wasn't just another knockout match. This was survival. Win or go home. For Portugal, there was even more at stake. A victory would move them one step closer to the trophy Ronaldo had chased his entire international career. A defeat could close one of football's greatest stories forever. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric long before kickoff. Red shirts filled one side. Spanish supporters answered from the other. The tension wasn't just between 2 teams. It was between 2 football cultures, one searching for another golden generation, the other trying to give its greatest player one last unforgettable memory. But while the cameras focused on Ronaldo during the national anthem, another story was quietly unfolding. Spain weren't interested in fairy tales. They weren't interested in history. They came to end it. Calm, confident, patient, managerial plans had been studied for months. Every weakness analyzed, every passing lane mapped out. Because beating Portugal didn't require stopping the legend alone. It required controlling the entire game. And as the opening whistle blew, Spain immediately showed they had no intention of becoming another chapter in Ronaldo's fairy tale. Instead, they wanted to write the ending themselves. But what happened over the next 90 minutes didn't just eliminate Portugal from the World Cup. It sparked a debate that football fans are still arguing about today. Did Spain simply prove they were the better team? Or did Portugal's own decisions cost Cristiano Ronaldo one final chance at history? As the match settled into its rhythm, one thing became impossible to ignore. Spain were in control. Not because Portugal lacked heart, not because Ronaldo stopped fighting, but because Spain dictated the tempo from the very first half. Every time Portugal regained possession, Spain pressed immediately. Their midfield closed passing lanes, forcing Portugal into long balls instead of building attacks through the middle. For long stretches, Ronaldo was isolated. He kept making runs behind the defense. He pointed to where he wanted the ball. He encouraged his teammates to push forward. But the service rarely arrived. Spain continued moving the ball with patience, while Portugal spent more time defending than attacking. Then came one of the night's biggest turning points. Left-back Nuno Mendes was forced off with an injury. It didn't make the headlines, but it changed the game. His pace had been one of Portugal's best weapons, helping them escape Spain's pressure. Without him, Portugal lost width, struggled to break forward, and Spain became even more comfortable in possession. But the biggest debate wasn't happening on the pitch. It was unfolding on Portugal's bench. As time ticked away, many expected manager Roberto Martinez to refresh the attack. Younger forwards like Gonçalo Ramos remained available, yet the substitution never came. Martinez kept Cristiano Ronaldo on until the final whistle. That decision immediately divided football fans. Some believed Ronaldo had earned the right to finish what could be his final World Cup match. Others questioned whether Portugal needed fresh legs sooner to change the game's momentum. Afterward, Martinez defended his decision, saying he trusted his captain's experience until the very end. Football, however, judges managers by results. And when results don't come, every decision is questioned. Despite Spain's control, Portugal never stopped believing. Their defense stayed organized. Their goalkeeper kept them alive. Every minute that passed made extra time feel more likely. And with Cristiano Ronaldo still on the field, there was always hope that one chance could change everything. That's why Spain never relaxed. Even at 41 years old, Ronaldo demanded attention from every defender. Legends only need a single opportunity. But while Portugal waited for that moment, Spain kept knocking on the door. Patient possession, sharp movement, relentless pressure. The match felt destined for one defining moment. The only question was, who would find it first? And when stoppage time arrived, football delivered one of the cruelest endings Portugal could have imagined. Before we get to that heartbreaking finish, let me know in the comments, do you think Roberto Martinez made the right decision by leaving Ronaldo on until the end? Or should Portugal have introduced fresh attacking options earlier? Football has a cruel way of deciding everything in a single moment. For more than 90 minutes, Portugal defended with determination. Diogo Costa produced important saves, while Spain controlled possession but couldn't find the breakthrough. It looked as though the match was heading for extra time. Then in the 91st minute, everything changed. Substitute Ferran Torres slipped a perfectly timed pass into the path of Mikel Merino. With one touch, Merino fired the ball into the bottom corner. 1-0. One pass, one finish, one moment that ended Portugal's World Cup journey. Portugal immediately pushed forward in search of an equalizer. Every attack carried desperation, but Spain stayed composed. One final opportunity fell to Bernardo Silva, whose late header drifted over the crossbar. Seconds later, the referee blew the final whistle. Spain were through. Portugal were out. For Cristiano Ronaldo, it wasn't simply another defeat. It was almost certainly the final World Cup match of one of football's greatest careers. From the fearless teenager who announced himself in 2006 to the captain who inspired Portugal to unforgettable triumphs, Ronaldo spent 2 decades carrying the hopes of an entire nation. The one dream he could never achieve was lifting the World Cup. As he walked off the pitch, the disappointment was impossible to hide. Around the football world, fans recognized they had likely witnessed the end of an era. But this defeat also leaves Portugal with difficult questions. The biggest debate isn't whether Spain deserved to win. Over the course of the match, they controlled possession and created the clearer opportunities. Instead, the discussion centers on Portugal's decisions. Should Roberto Martinez have introduced fresh attackers earlier? Should Gonçalo Ramos have been given a chance? Or was trusting his experienced captain until the end the right decision? Those questions will continue long after this tournament. For Spain, this victory is another statement that patience and discipline can decide the biggest matches. For Portugal, the future now belongs to a new generation. Players like Vitinha, João Neves, Gonçalo Ramos, and Nuno Mendes will carry the nation's hopes into the next chapter. Cristiano Ronaldo may never have won a World Cup, but his legacy has never depended on one trophy. It was built through extraordinary goals, relentless determination, and an unmatched drive to compete at the highest level for more than 2 decades. Sometimes football doesn't give legends the ending they dream of, but it can never erase what they gave to the game.